Good afternoon, good morning. It's Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Looking forward to today's webinar. It's entitled Elevating the Role of Gift Cards to Build Customer Loyalty and Engagement, Customer Engagement and Loyalty. Gift cards play an important part in personalization and driving brand engagement. And we have two experts today here, Joe Pino, who's the Vice President of Strategy and Solutions for Clutch, and Eric Figs, who is the Senior Vice President of Strategy Partners for Totus. They are going to go through some best practices for brands who are looking to create that additional engagement. A few housekeeping notes for those before we get started. I want to remind you that this, as well as other Loyalty360 webinars, are recorded and will be available on loyalty360.org after the webinar. If you have any questions during the session, please enter them into the question box, and we will try to cover them during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to Joe and Eric.
Thanks, Mark. And Joe, I'll let you kick off?
Yeah, no, nice to meet everyone. Mark, thanks for having us today. We are excited to be talking to you today from the perspective of Clutch as a technology platform. We could tell you and excited about how we work very closely with Totus and really see gift cards as a bigger part of really any marketing and loyalty strategy as a technology that offers different modules to deliver that customer experience. You know, gift card sometimes gets overlooked as being any more than just an operational function or tool. So we are excited to how we bring that solution together, how we can bring that together for existing customers, new clients, and certainly how it could always feed into the bigger solution. So very, very excited to be working today with Totus and Eric. So ultimately, how do we work together? So Clutch as a technology platform, as I mentioned, one of the features we offer in our platform is the ability to process your gift cards. And that is a closed loop gift card that can be issued and redeemed at any of your branded sites, whether that's in-store or online. As you'll see also in our conversations, we do more than gift cards with the ability to introduce and manage all of your customer data from any of their commerce channels, communicate to that customer with emails, text messaging, push notifications, introduce formal and informal loyalty strategies, all in the idea of course, increasing more value from your customers and ultimately getting to a higher level of retention. We work here, and again, with Totus, where they complement our capabilities with their deep expertise in stored value and with their services that they can put around gift cards from start all the way to finish. And certainly Eric will tell you more about what those Totus services are, but really excited how this can be pulled together and really establish a full end-to-end solution for brands that want a turnkey gift card solution without having to take on additional burden of having to manage the operations and the manpower, which really could be hard for some of our brands we work with that are looking to stay lean and stay specialized in their offering. So what is Clutch? For those that are familiar with us, working with us for a few years, you may not realize we do a lot more than just gift cards. So what the platform does offer, as I mentioned, modular options that start with CDP, so the ability to centralize your customer data, both demographics, spend behavior, non-spend behavior, ability to put formal loyalty strategies in place. So if you are thinking about a points or punch program, tiers, that could be fully managed. Or if you're not interested in a formal loyalty program, we do have offer management. So you can start to drive personalization with targeted offers based off of customers' behaviors, both their spend behaviors and preferences. And of course, communication, which becomes a really vital perspective, right? How to communicate and when to communicate to your customers using your customers' real-time behaviors. We have a full suite of communication tools from emails to text messaging to push notifications. We also partner with a number of marketing orchestration tools out in the market. And of course, we have gift card and stored value, which we'll talk a lot about today. You'll see here as well, aside from just those offerings, we do offer fully integrated solutions. We work with global clients. We offer all these functionalities across a number of different countries and currencies. And again, we partner with a number of great system integrators and point of sale and e-commerce platforms across a whole host of verticals, as you see here.
Great, thanks, Joe. As a quick commercial on Totus before we get into the meat of the presentation, Totus, by the way, is Latin for whole, all, entire, total. We serve as a brand's outsourced gift card issuer and or program manager. And this allows us to build a program literally from the ground up on step 1 all the way through step 10, as you see in the visual here. And we're actually going to go through these various steps more in an educational way, not a commercial way, in a minute. And the 4 types of clients that we typically work with are brands that don't have a gift card program, but should have one. Brands that have a program, but it's just in development and they really need some juice to get going. We do work with some brands that have mature programs, but they are looking to gain some efficiencies or they want to grow it. And then there's a 4th category where there are brands that actually have fairly sizable programs, but because of that size, they have, and the unredeemed value of the cards, they're now having some potential legal concerns or issues around state achievement obligations. So those are never fun conversations to have, but we obviously will help brands there. So I'm going to go off video just so that I'm not a distracting face as we talk through, and let's just dive in here. So today's session, we're going to walk through the 3 maturity phases of a gift card program and the 10 elements of each of the program. So the first phase we're going to talk about is the establish phase. This is for brands just setting up a program. Second phase is the expansion phase, how to take your program to market and selling your card. And then the third phase is the evolution phase. How are you taking and elevating your program from a payment vehicle to that of a marketing and a consumer engagement acquisition tool? So let's take a quick walk down memory lane. I wanted to highlight a few gift card milestones that some of us may remember. And this is leading up to kicking off on phase 1 of a program. In the 70s and 80s, McDonald's ushered in really the first use case of a national gift certificate, paper gift certificate that could be used at any of the brand's locations. In 1994, Neiman Marcus introduced the first modern era gift card that wasn't paper. But a year later, Blockbuster followed with its gift card. This is actually often considered the first gift card because they sold it from their stores at the counter. They integrated the gift card into their checkout at point of sale. 2001, we saw Starbucks introduced reload cards. That same year, Blackhawk Network introduced gift cards to third-party distribution through the grocery stores that we see every day. 2004, this is interesting. This is the first year, don't know if you know this, that the National Consumer Polls actually had gift cards ranked as the #1 wish list gift for the holidays per consumers. And then that statistic has stayed relatively consistent. 2008, we started to see e-gift. And then in 2009, things started to change. And they changed dramatically because gift cards became a regulated payment product when Congress passed the Card Act. This put federal law into place that governed how companies, brands, are required to adhere to strict consumer protection regulations for their gift cards, especially around expiration dates. And then subsequently, we saw 50 states start to enact their own laws, in particular around achievement obligations, which is turning over unused gift card funds if your company is domiciled in certain states like Delaware. So gift card law is decades old, it's mature, it's established, but interestingly, it does continue to change at the state level. Many of you probably saw 3 months ago, New York updated its law requiring all gift cards purchased in that state to remain valid for 9 years, plus any card with a balance of $5 or less can be redeemed for cash. So brands are addressing a variety of risks. They're complying with changing compliance and regulatory obligations related to their programs. And the quote unquote, not so fun part of this is that failure to do this results in unfortunate events. We saw this happen last summer very publicly. Many of us on the H&M news, they had to settle for $36 million to the state of New York over unused gift card funds that the brand should have been reporting and sending to the state. So that seems like a lot of doom and gloom, but running a gift card program does not have to be difficult or legally perilous at all. In fact, Joe and I want to talk about how you're going to establish, expand, and evolve your program the right way while keeping your eye on that consumer engagement and that loyalty aspect. So let's talk about the 6 steps for setting up and establishing your program. The very first step in establishing your gift card program is setting up issuance. This is the financial foundation of your program. This will be who will be responsible for your gift card business entity and where will the funds be held. And I guess I want to be clear on this definition. Issuance is not processing. So that step comes later. Processing your gift card is actually going to be step 3. Issuance is about setting up the fund's financial management and the liability ownership of the program, and then keeping those funds separate from your general operating account. And that's critical because the funds are not yours. The gift card funds on unredeemed cards are the consumer's funds per law until the gift cards are redeemed, and then you get the funds. So there are two ways to set up issuance. Brands can do this in-house, or they can use an outside issuer. Brands are usually doing it themselves if they've got the bandwidth and resource commitment from Treasury, compliance, and legal departments. Or brands can outsource to an external issuer like Totus, that's what my company does, MetaBank, Bancorp, or others. After you get your financial foundation of your program set and you define who's the issuer, step 2 is setting up the legal and regulatory framework. So this is where you're going to ensure your card's terms and conditions and all the legal aspects of your gift card are in compliance with the federal and state laws that we just talked about earlier, per the Card Act and per the 50 state laws. Again, some brands are going to do this in-house, others use outside counsel. You can use legal and data experts like Card Compliant, or they'll lean on their issuer like Totus. You'll notice we're going to jump to step 9, customer service. So while customer service doesn't kick in until cards are actually in consumers' hands, it's why I've got it further down in our list of steps. It's important to discuss this now because this is going to determine whose contact information appears in the legally bound terms and conditions established in step 2 and are printed on the back of your gift card or appear in the footer of your e-gift card template. And again, brands are going to do this in-house typically if they've got bandwidth on their payments team and customer service, or they'll outsource to their issuer. And then finally, step 10 addresses reporting obligations. Who's going to manage the settlement and reporting of funds from the issuing account, that custodial account, to the general operating account upon card redemption? Who's going to file the necessary escheatment reports to the states? And brands will do this in-house. They'll use Card Compliant. They can use their issuer. So these 4 elements, 2 on the front end, 2 on the back end, form the issuance foundation of your program. And because gift cards are a federally and state regulated payment product, it's important that you establish those legal compliance and financial elements for your program first. And if you're going to do this in-house, I wanted to share this. We're not going to go through all these, by the way. I'm not going to read these. The RGCA, if you're not familiar with the RGCA, it's the Retail Gift Card Association. They release an annual issuance checklist. It's great. It helps define, like, hey, here's what you need to do. Have you done this? Have you done that? Here's the resources, expertise, and budget that you're going to need to manage these issuance obligations. So if you're doing it yourself, there are resources out there that kind of help manage that. However, a lot of brands see this and they're like, look, I don't have the internal resources to manage these requirements. It's not a priority. It's not in the budget to staff up or have shared resources to be doing this. But we do want to launch a gift card program. We do need a gift card program. So that's when, again, they will look towards an outsourced issuer to handle all these issuance to-dos. And how this translates to your actual card. So Hannah Anderson is one of Clutch, Joe, and Totus's shared clients. Totus is the newly named appointed outsourced gift card issuer for Hannah Anderson. And as I talked about earlier, it kind of just boils down to, and you turn over the card and you look on the back, and the issuer is responsible for the card's terms and conditions, and then keeping those updated per law, federally and state-wise. Secondly, the issuer is responsible for the customer service support for the entire life of that card. And again, per law, gift cards can't expire. And then lastly, we serve as the legal entity responsible for the financial issuance and the administration of the gift card program on behalf of the brand. So really, that's how it looks when you get through all the legal and the financial and the customer service and all those key pieces on the issuance foundation. It really comes down to what's happening to the back of the card. So from this standpoint, whether you keep your issuance in-house or you're outsourced, just pay close attention to these 4 elements. They're going to form the foundation of your program. And setting this stage up correctly will eliminate risk, regulatory and financial, to keep your program in compliance. So here comes the fun part. So with these in place, it's time to pick your processor. This is a key operational partner of your gift card program. They're going to generate the card numbers, the PIN numbers, activation, deactivation, balance check, the point of sale integration, so your card can be used at checkout across your omnichannel footprint. There's a variety of great processes in the market, like our partners Clutch here today. Some brands even opt to process gift cards themselves. But some of the newer features, kind of again with the theme of today, on customer engagement, loyalty, ask your processor about digital versus physical versus mobile support. Ask about self-servicing options. Ask about marketing, coupon, loyalty modules, and reporting features. And then for brands opting to issue physical cards, selecting a card printer is the fourth step. You may be surprised to hear, maybe not. Fiserv did a study just last year. Physical gift cards are still preferred by slightly more than half of all consumers, 54%. So it is a chunk of the market if you're looking to engage customers. If you're only going to go digital, there's a segment of people that are not ready for digital or not using digital gift cards. So keep that in mind. And then selecting the right card printer. It's going to be important. You're going to want to talk about quantities with them, distribution channels. Are you going to be in third-party grocery store via Blackhawk or Income? What's the substrate material you want to use? For instance, like eco-friendly options. What's the fraud and security protocols and things like that? So with your issuance, processing, and manufacturing elements identified, you've just completed the 6 core foundational steps in establishing your gift card program. And with these components working in harmony, you're going to be able to de-risk your program from all the operational, legal, financial, and compliance burdens. And then you get to focus on the fun stuff, which is the expanding and evolving phase, which brings us to phase 2, selling your gift card. How can you expand your gift card once it's established? So the first step in this phase is determine your strategy for selling your cards to end consumers. And there's really 3 ways to do this. Channel 1 is selling your gift card on your website and your mobile app. There's a bunch of great partners, e-com partners, platforms that will help you do this. 99 Minds, Shopify, CashStar via Blackhawk, Income, eGifter, Buy a Tab via SVS, and many more. BigCommerce, WooCommerce. Channel 2, and this is for brands with a retail footprint, selling your gift cards in your stores is going to be important. Most brands do this at checkout or host stand, and they do this with an integration through their gift card processor and their point of sale payment stack partner. And then we've kind of referenced it a little bit ago. If you're looking to sell to consumers through the gift card displays that you see in grocery stores and pharmacies and big box retailers, that's going to happen through a partnership with Blackhawk and Income. They operate the third-party distribution market. Peg space based on retailer market, it can be limited. And so your brand's going to need to go through a vetting process. Not every brand is going to get a peg. So you have to be realistic about that. And Blackhawk and Income will coach you there. And then to maximize sales in this channel, if you don't get a physical peg, you can inquire about digital third-party distributions, which is, again, the websites for the places that you see them in retail. So once you're done selling to consumers, it's now to look at B2B. And so this is near and dear to my heart. So for 8 years of my 25 years in gift cards, I was president at National Gift Card. And we were maximizing gift card sales across B2B channels for 500 brands and sold about $1 billion worth of gift cards per year. The crazy part about this market, this particular part of the market, is that it's like herding cats. It's very sizable though. So the B2B gift card market just in the US is just estimated to be between $30 and $40 billion in load value. There are literally tens of thousands of corporate buyers that use gift cards in their loyalty, rewards, wellness incentive, employee recognition programs, and their redemption catalogs. And so navigating these players and platforms and opportunities, it takes a lot of effort. Relationship time, vetting time, approval processes. And I wish it was just as easy as calling up American Express and saying, I'd like to add my brand to the membership rewards catalog. There's unique technical requirements like APIs. There's unique pricing structures needed in how your B2B gift card is sold into this market. For instance, large buyers, reward and incentive buyers, loyalty programs, they will require a discount off the face value of your card in order to make their economics work. So moving into the B2B market can add a significant sales upside to your program than just selling to consumers. But the details, effort, and time required to manage this channel is often one area where you will see brands outsource more than manage internally. And there are a variety of professional agencies in our market in our industry, that can expand your gift card sales into hundreds and hundreds, thousands of B2B programs. And then the last step in this expansion phase is fulfillment. So after your gift card is sold to a consumer or a business, really the question is, how is it delivered? And there's 4 main delivery types, and they're pretty straightforward. API, do you have an API for real-time delivery of your e-gift program? This is pretty much table stakes now for your instant delivery, where someone's redeeming points in their bank program and they want to get that e-gift delivered via text or email right away. Speaking of which, can the customer receive your gift card as a text message? Do you support email delivery? And then, of course, physical fulfillment. And this area is unique because based on your consumer or business sales channels in steps 5 and 6, you could be fulfilling 1 card to 1 consumer that bought it off your website, or you could be fulfilling 10,000 cards to a large corporate buyer. Who's doing that for you? And again, brands have a complement of great partners in the industry to help manage this. And like B2B sales, this is probably the other key area where most brands outsource to a digital and physical fulfillment partner, and they're not doing it in-house. Some still do. So selling to consumers, businesses, managing the appropriate fulfillment wraps up phase 2. And then we get to turn our eyes to the pinnacle of the pyramid, evolving. How do you, let me back up. This phase is all about taking the solid foundation that you've established, your program, you're maximizing the sales, and now you want to turn your gift card into a marketing tool. So it's not just a payment vehicle, but this is a tool that you can use for activation, loyalty, promotional campaigns, and it's all about acquiring new customers and retaining new ones using your gift card. Some examples. I'm going to turn this over to Joe in a second because he's going to talk about some of the things that Clutch can do. Activation example, here's Target. You can walk into Target any day and you can see their gift card program literally on display. They're incentivizing behavior of a particular product or certain departments within their store. You can see in this example, they're given a $5 gift card of their own to motivate customers to spend just a little bit more, $20, on health and beauty personal care products. Loyalty. The big question here is, have you incorporated your gift card into your loyalty program? Starbucks set the gold standard in how their gift card program forms the basis for the reload payment functionality within their app and allows for a payment experience at point of sale without involving the traditional payment networks they're using their gift card. Is your gift card mobile wallet friendly? Is your gift card redeemable across your omnichannel footprint? Meaning, can that same gift card be used on your website, in your app, and on your stores? And Joe, I'm going to stop here so that you can give a couple examples and just lead me through or tell me when to switch slides.
Yeah, no, thanks, Eric. I think it's really great. Again, we talk to a lot of different clients and brands that are interested in starting a gift card program. This foundation is extremely important. And again, once all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, the fun then begins, right? Often what does get overlooked is gift cards should be a marketing tool, should be loyalty. And a number of our brands are doing a really great job doing that. Again, not everyone's Starbucks, not everyone has that digital wallet and has a consumer coming in every day. So as a retailer, your best customers may be coming in weekly, monthly, or annually. So how do you use gift cards to generate and activate that customer? So you have your even traditional use case around bounce back, right? When we think of stored value, it doesn't always have to be the consumer's money, right? At Clutch, we have the ability to separate your programs and have different line items for your bounce back gift. So customer comes in and shops on February 22nd. How do we get them to come back the following month? Or as we all see during the holidays, right? We see a big uptick in activity in December. How do we cut them come back in January? So bounce back becomes a great use case. We've seen this done a number of different times with a host of our different brands. Merchandise credit, again, often overlooked, allows for you to differentiate when a customer does a return. We've seen some of our brands not just offer this as an option where money gets put back on our merchandise credit, but actually incentivize it, right? Instead of putting it back on the original payment method, instead of putting it back on a credit card, how do I put maybe the same amount plus a 5% bonus onto a merchandise credit card, where again, customers get their money back plus that 5% bonus that could have an expiration date. How do I incentivize that money to come back into your store? And what you're going to find, by the way, when you put this branded currency into somebody's physical or digital pocket, is the idea that they're going to spend it faster. And you're going to know who that person is, especially when we get into merchandise credit. It's not just about giving somebody a merchandise credit card, but knowing the person allows for your marketing team to activate that consumer as well, right? And we'll talk a little bit about what some of our brands are doing with what we call merchandise credit or cash on account, where they're actually putting it onto the customer's web account, right? For those that are using Shopify or Salesforce or other types of e-commerce platforms, using that website and the customer's account as their essential digital wallet without having to go get a mobile app like Starbucks, for example. And then, of course, you have lapsed customers and thank yous. Again, just using ways to put money in customers' pocket while scale separated, so your accounting team's not wondering if all this is gift card money, going back to what Eric has talked about around achievement and other compliance around managing it. But with all these different programs, you could introduce expiration dates in certain cases, and of course, look to incentivize customers to identify themselves so you can market to them. And one of our brands, as you see here, actually on the right-hand side, Honest Company, has really done a great job with that. Eric, go to the next slide. Oh, okay. Here you're going to see some of the experience. So I'll talk about Honest Company for just a moment. Honest Company is one of our brands that's done a fantastic job of turning their digital site into a customer's sort of home hub where they could see and manage all of their gift card dollars, merchandise credit, even promotional dollars. So again, something that we could absolutely demo as a follow-up to this for those that are interested in taking that gift card and empowering their marketing team. What you'll see here, however, is one of our another clients, New Balance, has really done a great job in building out their own UI, UX. So what Eric was referring to around the issuance experience, really, you could outsource that to third parties. You, of course, can also make this part of your own native website experience. And that's what the example we're seeing here. With Clutch APIs, you could create your own experience when selling digital or physical gift cards, as well as, of course, determine the content you want to send those customers along the way. Go to the next slide. And here's just another version of that similar experience where, again, digital or physical. So great examples of how, again, gift cards can be a part of your site, can be a part of your checkout experience. Or, of course, as we get into some of our partners, you have the ability to isolate that checkout experience from the rest of your shopping experience. Really, again, just a business decision. Now, we've talked, and Eric was referring to some of the different use cases. One of the things that we're seeing a lot of is really this whole upcycle, recycle type of initiatives where brands, like in this case, Steve Madden, or partners of ours, Recurate, is actually looking to take advantage of the consumer market out there where they're reselling clothing. So Steve Madden, Seven for All Mankind, even ThredUp, another brand of ours, again, there's a whole economy about reselling, well-treated clothing back to consumers. So what Recurate has done with Steve Madden and some other brands is actually allow for consumers to resell clothing right from the Steve Madden or Seven for All Mankind website, and then actually reward them or give them a gift card. So again, using gift cards well beyond just reselling on J-hooks, but as a part of additional or different marketing initiatives has really been vital. And I don't know, Eric, if you could speak to this as well. I know you partner with other brands that, other than Recurate, that also does some sustainability initiatives.
Yeah, no, this is one of those new innovative areas, right? It's like, how can you get like a resale, instead of just throwing clothes away, you can resell them onto a site. And then you can, as you do that, instead of getting paid, like almost like consignment, you can be compensated with a gift card from that brand. So you can buy new clothes, especially, Hannah Anderson is a great example, is resell the clothes, get a gift card, buy the new size up for your kids, right? It's like this like kind of circular loop that brands are doing now, but they're using their gift card as the incentive to get people to kind of basically use consignment on these sites to resell the clothing.
And to speak that even further, we have some other brands that are doing the same type of initiative and now tying it into their loyalty program. How do I actually incentivize that customer to complete that activity? As I mentioned before, when you think of loyalty or really any sort of, your best customer isn't just shopping with you every day. They're engaging with your brand in other ways. So the consumer or the customer that's reselling your product, how do you isolate them as a high value customer and maybe treat them differently, right, towards your future marketing initiative? So we have brands that are looking to take that action of reselling as a sort of a milestone that they want all of their customers to at one point achieve. And at some point, again, you're treating those customers differently. So really a heightened level of loyalty is identifying customers that are willing to resell your products, again, those that they've gently used and with the idea that they're rebuying your clothes as well. So again, there's that whole economy to take advantage of.
Yeah.
And we really put all this together. Again, this is just a simple visualization of the way our platform does bring this together. And again, gift cards being one piece of that. So today, most commonly, the use case is that a consumer buys a gift card, right? They buy that online or in store, and very often that becomes an anonymous purchase because, again, the person who's buying your gift card typically isn't the same person who's receiving your gift card. So they buy that gift card, they give it to a friend or family member, that family member gets the gift card. What we're looking to do, and really what we're doing with in conjunction with Totus and others, is how do we take that gift card and make it an identified customer? So take gift cards, make it an identified customer, and then put marketing around it. So you go from acquisition of a consumer, not just the selling of a gift card. So really, again, we could talk a lot about how that's done today, and certainly how our APIs support the scenario of a customer creating that digital wallet, giving your marketing team a reason to talk to them, in addition to, of course, the products and offerings that you have throughout the week or throughout the month.
We have 3 slides left, everybody, about 30 seconds worth of content. Then we can, for those that want to stick around, hopefully we can do some questions. So that wraps up the 3rd phase, is this evolve phase, using everything that Joe just talked about. How are you using your gift card program for those activation and engagement activities, and really that top of the pyramid. So here's when you start to lay it out for brand. Here's how your gift card strategy and checklist starts to look. It can look like a lot, right? But this is kind of a nice template for brands that want to do it themselves. There are options if you want to utilize a program manager, which is why Joe and I are working together in our companies, where if brands are focusing on selling their core products and services, but they'd like to outsource the tasks of managing a gift card program, they can partner with companies like Totus and Clutch to do this for them across all the different 10 key segments, excuse me. So that's it. It's a lot to get in 32 minutes, Joe.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Certainly hope we got some informative and educated some of you that weren't familiar with all of our capabilities, and certainly the way that Totus and Clutch can work together. We also realize, again, 30 minutes is just enough to maybe tease that information out. We'd love to set up more time and go through it in more detail with yourselves and, of course, other members of your organization. We will be sharing out this video. So again, a lot more to kind of take on the side and kind of ingest a bit. But we do look forward to conversations with both our existing clients as well as, of course, new clients or prospects as well.
Great. Thank you guys for the time today. Really appreciate it. We do have a couple of questions that have come in, and if anyone else has a question, feel free to send that over. We can follow up with you directly after the webinar. But Joe and Eric, just a first question that came through. I know a lot of people here today are focused on loyalty programs, loyalty strategies. The first question we got: how are brands today integrating gift cards into their marketing and loyalty strategies?
Sure. I know I talked about this a little bit, but certainly 2 points I'll emphasize. First and foremost is the idea of how do you take the gift card buyer or the gift card recipient and incentivize them to want to become a part of your loyalty, formal loyalty program, or just want to identify themselves so your marketing team can speak to them. So operationally, we've seen brands put incentives in place, right? Get your digital gift card. Hey, load this to your digital wallet online. And again, make that a part of the online experience. Additionally, what we've seen from a gift card standpoint is rewarding customers for buying gift cards, right? From time to time, you can reward, just like you reward them for buying specific products, incentivize them to buy a gift card, right? Buy a gift for you, get a reward for them. So again, making that a part of your strategy are 2 key points that I've seen brands take advantage of.
Okay, great. And one final question for you guys. How can brands get started with a gift card program? And in your opinion, how long do you think it takes to set up a gift card program?
That's a good one. We depending on, again, the e-com platform that you're using. For instance, if someone is going to be if someone's a Shopify brand and they're selling on Shopify, we can launch programs and we can launch a gift card program in less than 2 weeks. From issuance to customer service to the whole ball of wax. If it's a little bit more of a complex program, you've got a lot of stores, you've got an omnichannel program, we need to pull in a processor like Clutch, that can take, I guess it's real. And actually, I don't even want to give it a time frame because we could move quick or it can range a couple months longer, depending on the complexity. I mean, Joe,
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it launched under 30 days for sure. Again, it really just depends on where you're starting, right? You have a brand that is totally net new, wants to get a gift card program launched and off the ground, versus somebody maybe who's already working with a processor looking to do a migration. We handle both scenarios, and we definitely had options around getting to speed the market sooner. What I will say is now's the time to do it, right? Too often we start getting phone calls around September that says we need to have something up by Q4, right? Take advantage of the holidays. Obviously, we suggest that you get ahead of that curve and get the program off the ground now, opposed to just waiting to the holidays. But it could be as short as 30 days and could always take longer depending on details. But again, there's a lot to take in, right? There's a lot of options, and we'll help streamline it. And in conjunction with Totus, make sure there's a plan in place for the short term and long term, so it doesn't just become a phase one. And our goal is to get you to phase 3 as you get into evolving.
Yep. And we find out during some of the discovery meetings that, you know what, maybe Totus isn't the right fit. Again, having spent half my career life, I'm 50 years old, you guys, and 25 years I've been in gift cards and loyalty. And if we can't provide the service, I know, which is why you never burn a bridge in your career, right? I will refer you to partners that, after we do a discovery discussion, if we're not the right fit, we'll get you to the right people, because, we want the brand to be successful. We want you to get your card out there. We want consumers to engage in this product.
Great. Well, thank you guys again, Joe and Eric, for today's webinar. If anyone does have any follow-up questions for the presenters or Loyalty 360, please feel free to shoot those our way. We'll make sure to get them to the right person. And as a reminder, we'll send everyone a recording of today's webinar. And thanks again to our presenters. We hope everyone has a great rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, Carly.
Thank you.
See you, Joe.